respiration topic. See here, photo respiration, it is simple. Within one word, I will say this is, see here. See, generally here, see here, ribulose bisphosphate. Ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide and converted into two molecules of 3-carbon phosphoglyceric acid. It is a normal process. So ribulose bisphosphate. This ribulose bisphosphate. Ribulose bisphosphate. Ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide and converted into two molecules of phosphoglyceric acid. This is a normal phenomenon. Some condition, carbon dioxide is not combined with ribulose bisphosphate. Instead of carbon dioxide combining, oxygen is combined. Ribulose bisphosphate combined with oxygen. Then instead of forming two molecules of phosphoglyceric acid, phosphoglycocolate phosphoglycerate, phosphoglycerate, phosphoglycolate formed. Glycolate is formed. Actually, if phosphoglycolate is formed, this is not suitable for the synthesis of starch. This is called photorespiration. Finished. Okay. Generally, ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide. So this process is initiated by enzyme ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. Okay. So 2-PGA formed. This 2-PGA helps for the formation of a starch. But some conditions, instead of carbon dioxide, oxygen is bound with ribulose bisphosphate. In such cases, instead of being converted into two molecules of phosphoglyceric acid with 3-carbon compound, phosphoglycerate phosphoglycolate formed. So this is not suitable for the synthesis of starch. That's why it is called photorespiration. See, photo means, respiration means what? Oxygen will releases carbon dioxide. This is called respiration. This entire process occurs in presence of light. That's why it is called photorespiration. Topic is finished. But if you write like this way, photorespiration, if you write like this, 2 points, you will not get points. You will not get marks. So in textbook, what was there? That points, if you write, then you will get full marks. Some conditions, they will ask 2 marks, 3 marks. It is a basic pathway. Okay. So here, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, it is enzyme. With this enzyme, carbon dioxide is bound, oxygen is bound. Okay. So these two carbon dioxide, oxygen, both are compete with ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase enzyme to bind with ribulose bisphosphate. If carbon dioxide is bound, no problem, nothing happens. Instead of carbon dioxide bound, some condition oxygen is bound. In such cases, this is formed. This is not suitable for the formation of starch. Hence, the photorespiration is the wasteful process, because if photorespiration occurs, any starch is not synthesized. Then that process is a wasteful process. Okay, that's all. This is photorespiration. Now we will see complete information in this topic. It is main thing. If you remember these 2 points, by understanding this topic, you have to elaborate. See here. Photorespiration. Let us try to understand one more process that creates an important difference between C3 and C4 plants. That is photorespiration. See, to understand photorespiration, we must know little more about the first step of the Calvin pathway, the first carbon dioxide fixation step. In this reaction, ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide. So this process is initiated, catalyzed by ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. With the help of this enzyme, ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide and forms two molecules of 3-carbon phosphoglyceric acid. This 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is divided into two parts. 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and 10 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So it helps to formation of starch. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate regenerates ribulose bisphosphate. Okay, so starch in C3 plants, with the help of this process, starch is formed. Okay, so here ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase is the most abundant enzyme in the world. It is characterized by the fact that it is active site can bind with carbon dioxide and oxygen. So ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase can bind with carbon dioxide and also bind with oxygen. So carbon dioxide and oxygen both are compete with ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. See here, if you see, it is characterized by the fact that it is active site can bind with it. This enzyme is active site can bind with the carbon dioxide and oxygen. Hence the name ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygen. It can be bind with carbon dioxide, it can bind with oxygen. That's why it is called ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. It is abundant enzyme in the whole biosphere. So ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase has much greater affinity for carbon dioxide and oxygen. This enzyme can bind with the carbon dioxide and oxygen. So and also it has greater affinity, strong energy for binding carbon dioxide and oxygen. Imagine what would happen if this were not so. So if carbon dioxide oxygen is not bind with ribulose bisphosphate, if oxygen is not bind, no problem, nothing happens. If carbon dioxide does not bind, photosynthesis does not take place. If oxygen is not bind, carbon dioxide is not released. Respiration does not take place. If respiration does not there, plant does not survive. Okay, that's that. Next, it is the relative concentration of oxygen and carbon dioxide that determines which of the two will bind to the enzyme. Okay, oxygen binds with the ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. Carbon dioxide binds with ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. See here one step in C3 plants. In C3 plants, what happened? Some oxygen does bind to the ribulose bisphosphate. Ribulose biphosphate binds with oxygen. In this process, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Okay, in C3 plants, oxygen does bind to ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Oxygen bind to ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, and hence carbon dioxide fixation decreases. Yes, it is common. So here see, if ribulose bisphosphate combines with carbon dioxide, the process is initiated. So instead of carbon dioxide, if oxygen is binds, so morning times when temperature is less, at that time carbon dioxide is binds. When temperature is more and more, at that time carbon dioxide does not bind, oxygen binds. That only in C3 plants, some oxygen does bind to the ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, and hence carbon dioxide fixation decreases. When oxygen is binds, carbon dioxide fixation with the ribulose bisphosphate is decreasing. Here the ribulose bisphosphate, instead of being converted to 2 molecules of PGA, instead of 2 molecules of PGA binds with oxygen. Instead of carbon dioxide binds, if oxygen binds, instead of forming 2 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid, what formed? If oxygen is binds with ribulose bisphosphate binds with oxygen to form 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate in a pathway. Here what formed? 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate. Next phosphoglycolate. Phosphoglycolate. So phosphoglycolate, these two are formed. If these two are formed, this process is called photorespiration. Here, oxygen intake and releases carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is released out, oxygen intake. That process is called respiration. This entire process takes place in presence of photo. This is called photorespiration. This process is called photorespiration. This process is called photorespiration. In the photorespiratory pathway, there is a synthesis neither of sugars nor of ATP. In photorespiration pathway, sugar not synthesized, ATP not synthesized. Rather than sugars and ATP, it releases carbon dioxide. Already here I mentioned more and more carbon dioxide utilizing ATP. So in the photorespiratory pathway, there is no synthesis of ATP and ADPH. Therefore, photorespiration is a wasteful process. So in C3 plants, sometimes photorespiration takes place when not continuous, some conditions, when temperature is more and more. At that conditions, in C3 plants, instead of carbon dioxide binding to the ribulose bisphosphate, oxygen is binds. When oxygen is binds, instead of two molecules of PGA, phosphoglycolate, phosphoglycerate is formed. So these two are not helpful for the synthesis of photosynthesis. It helps to formation of another that is not given in our syllabus. So I will not touch in that corner. Okay, that's all. This is so. Therefore, photorespiration is a wasteful process. Next, come to the point. In C4 plants, yesterday C4 pathway I discussed. In that C4 pathway, I said in C4 plants, photorespiration does not occur. Yes, since photorespiration does not take place. In C3 plants, sometimes photorespiration takes place. Okay, but in C4 plants, never photorespiration takes place. Because they have a mechanism that increase concentration of carbon dioxide concentration at the enzyme site. Okay, so for C4 plants have the capacity to increase carbon dioxide concentration. But in C3 plants, they don't have a capacity to increase carbon dioxide concentration. When oxygen concentration is more, at that time automatically carbon dioxide concentration is decreasing in C3 plants. But in C4 plants, when oxygen concentration is increasing, parallel to this, they will increase more and more carbon dioxide. So at that conditions, if carbon dioxide concentration is more, at that conditions, that will make oxygen concentration is less. At that condition, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxidase enzyme does not bind with oxygen. It will bind with carbon dioxide and releases two molecules of 3-PGA. This 3-PGA helps for synthesis of starch. First glucose, next sucrose, finally starch. Okay, see. So in C4 plants does not take. This is because they have a mechanism that increase concentration of carbon dioxide at the enzyme site. Enzyme site means what? Ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxidase. This takes place when C4 acid from the mesophyll cell is broken down in the bundle sheet cells to release carbon dioxide. Bundle sheet cells to release carbon dioxide. Yesterday I said that. What I said that in bundle sheets. See, once again I will repeat that topic. Yesterday topic once I will repeat that. See, it is what? Mesophyll tissue. This is mesophyll tissue. Okay, this is mesophyll tissue. This is bundle sheet cells. This is bundle sheet cells. Here atmospheric carbon dioxide is combined with phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate. So it is converted into C4 acid. C4 acid. That is called oxaloacetic acid or malic acid or aspartic acid. It goes to it is mesophyll tissue. It is bundle sheet cells. Bundle sheet. These are bundle sheet cells. So C4 acid. C4 acid is breakdown. So from the C4, one carbon goes out, remaining 3 C3 acid. This C3 goes to mesophyll tissue. And again combined with phosphoenol. Okay, so that why I have said that is, see here. Here, see. This takes place in C4 plant. This takes place when C4 acid from the mesophyll cell is broken down in the bundle sheet cells to release carbon dioxide. In the bundle sheet cells release carbon dioxide. This results increasing the intracellular concentration of carbon dioxide. So see here what here carbon dioxide is released. So in such a way, carbon dioxide concentration will be more and more. Carbon dioxide concentration will be more and more. If carbon dioxide concentration will be more and more, then oxygenase activity is less. If oxygenase activity is less, oxygenase enzyme, ribulose bisphosphate, carboxylase oxygenase activity is less, then that enzyme not bind with oxygen. Why? Rather than oxygen concentration, carbon dioxide concentration will be more. In such cases, ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide. So this process in presence of ribulose bisphosphate, carboxylase oxygenase, it is converted into 2 molecules of PGA. These 2 molecules of PGA through a series of reaction forms glucose. This glucose is converted into sucrose. This sucrose is converted into starch. Like this. This process is called photorespiration. This process. Okay. So in such a way, in C4 plants, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme activity is reduced. So see here, in turn, this pathway ensures that ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase function as carboxylase, minimizing the oxygenase activity. Okay, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. In this one, carboxylase, this enzyme as alone carboxylase. C stands for carboxylase, reduces the oxygenase activity. Then this enzyme cannot bind with oxygen. It can bind with carbon dioxide and releases PGA. This PGA through a series of reactions, glucose, sucrose, finally starch. This is photorespiration. So this pathway in C4 plants does not take place. In C4 plants, some conditions in C3 plants occurs. Okay, ma? Thank you. Next topic. Some factors affecting photosynthesis. See here, again, we will go to some factors. Here, we will see 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Here, two factors are required. Those 2 factors are external factors and internal factors. External factors are sunlight, carbon dioxide, temperature, etc. Internal factors, enzymes, chlorophyll, water, etc. In these, sunlight is deficiency, carbon dioxide is deficiency, temperature is deficiency, enzymes, chlorophyll, water. If any factor is deficiency, due to those factors, the process of photosynthesis is limited. Limited means decreased. That is the topic is called factors. Some of the factors, maybe sunlight is as a factor. Sunlight, the external factor, maybe makes the photosynthesis deficiency. Carbon dioxide maybe, temperature maybe makes the deficiency of photosynthesis. Enzymes, chlorophyll, water makes the photosynthesis deficiency. Okay, so if these factors are deficiency, what happens in the plants? Whether photosynthesis takes place or not, that is what we can be discussing here. That is what we can be discussing. Okay, so that is only called factors affecting photosynthesis. But if you write like this way, you will not get marks. It is general, normally we can say. Finished with these 2 points, the total topic is finished. But if you will write like this way, you will not get marks. Okay, in textbook, what the terminology is, that we have to discuss. Okay, so the main theme is this is either external factors are deficiency, internal factors are deficiency. Should not be more, should not be less. optimal, suboptimal level, suboptimal level. Sunlight should not be increased, carbon dioxide content should not be increased, temperature should not be more, enzymes should not be more. Enzymes always be maintained. Chlorophyll, the chlorophyll should not be due to if sunlight more, chlorophyll damage. If sunlight more, water will be evaporated. So all at the suboptimal temperature, suboptimal level. These external factors, internal factors should be in suboptimal level available to the plants. Then only rate of photosynthesis is effective. About this topic, more and more information now we will see. Have a look on these. So an understanding of the factors that affect photosynthesis is necessary. Yes, understanding of the factors that affect the photosynthesis is necessary. If factors are not available, then affect the photosynthesis necessary. Photosynthesis is influenced by several factors, that both internal and external factors. Now only I said that external and internal factors. So the plant factors include the number. The plant factors include the number. The plant factors include the number, size, age, arrangement of leaves, orientation, arrangement of leaves, are angle of the leaf, mesophyll cells, chloroplast, concentration, and the amount of chlorophyll. These are all the factors should be in correct manner. See here, the number, the plant factors, the number. So the number means what? If the factors, one factor is one number, one factor is deficiency, the rate of photosynthesis is deficiency. So the size, the leaf size should be sufficient manner. Then only photosynthesis. Age means what? Plant age. Okay, so at the earlier stage of the plant, rate of photosynthesis is less. So orientation of leaves, arrangement of leaves, angle of the leaves, arrangement and angle of the leaves helps to perform photosynthesis. So the leaves should be right angles to the sunlight. Right angles to the sunlight. In that right angles to the sunlight, chlorophyll also should be in right angles to the sunlight. Then the chlorophyll receives a sufficient quantity of sunlight. Mesophyll cells, already what about mesophyll cells? Many times I said on offline class. So the arrangement of mesophyll cells. Mesophyll tissue is two types. Palisade parenchyma, spongy parenchyma. In this one also. And chloroplast, if chloroplast number is less, photosynthesis is decreased. Concentration and amount of chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll concentration should be insufficient, and that amount of chlorophyll, 10%, 20%, that saturation, sufficient level will be less than sufficient, more than sufficient, affect the photosynthesis. The external factors include availability of sunlight. Just before I said it briefly. So availability of sunlight. Sunlight, if more is available, not performs. Less is available, not performs. Temperature, carbon dioxide concentration, and water. These are all should be in suboptimal levels available. In optimal conditions available. If more, less, danger. Okay. So even we also, if we will eat more food, it is dangerous to our health. If we will eat less food, it makes our body saturation, tired. All these factors simultaneously affect the photosynthesis or carbon dioxide fixation. In these, whatever size, orientation, mesophills, in these, up to now, whatever I said, in these, all these factors simultaneously, so parallelly affect photosynthesis or fixation of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Hence, at any point, the rate of photosynthesis is determined by the factors. Those factors should be available at optimal, suboptimal, should not be increased more, should not be controlled less. That is called factors. So when several factors affect any biochemical process, any chemical process in plants, so that biochemical process, that is called Blackman's law of limiting factors come to effect. So you need not worry, Blackman's law of limiting factors means it is a separate law. No. Blackman is the scientist. He worked on plants about photosynthesis in 1905. At that time, he said that when several factors affect when several factors affect any biochemical process, maybe a sunlight, maybe a carbon dioxide, maybe a water, maybe a chlorophyll, any factor that would affect the biochemical process. Biochemical process means what? Light reaction, dark reaction. So that is what identified by the Blackman. So that it is called law of limiting factors come to effect. Law of limiting. Law of limiting means what? In these factors, if any factor is limited, less, photosynthesis does not exist. Then the rate of photosynthesis increases. Here, the rate of photosynthesis governed. Governed means controlled by the law of limiting factor. So all the external factors, internal factors are sufficiently provided to the plant. Then what happened? Photosynthesis is continued. That rate of photosynthesis is controlled by law of limiting factor. Law of limiting factors means what? In these factors, if any factor is deficiency, less, then photosynthesis also controls. This principle was given by Blackmans in 1905. Okay, Blackman's law of limiting factor means nothing, any law. He is saying that the rate of photosynthesis is controlled by deficiency of factors. Those factors: sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, temperature, enzymes, etc., etc., etc. According to this law, when a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, chemical process means what? Photosynthesis. Affected by more than one factor, one or many factors, the rate of photosynthesis is limited, decreased by the slowest step in the pathway or the most limiting factor. One or many factors are deficient, then automatically the rate of photosynthesis is decreased, which is nearest in minimal value. The photosynthesis minimum happens. Minimum happens means starch does not take place. It means that a given time only the factor that is most limiting will directly affect the process. Yes, if one factor or deficiency that directly affect the process. For example, despite nothing but in spite the presence of a green leaf and optimal light and carbon dioxide, the plant may not photosynthesis if the temperature is very low. You might have understand. In spite of providing all the factors sufficiently, if temperature is not provided, means rate of photosynthesis is affected. That is only law of limiting factor. That is Blackman's law of limiting factor is explained. So the leaf, if given optimal temperature, will start photosynthesis. If the value of this factor is increased, the rate is increased again. Okay, optimal temperature is provided, the rate of photosynthesis increased. If more temperature is increased again, Blackman's law of limiting factor can be studied by performing simple. If temperature is more and more provided, rate of photosynthesis decreases. 20% is provided, no problem. From 20 to 25% increase, no problem. Photosynthesis takes place. 35 to 40 is increased, then rate of photosynthesis decreases. So Blackman's law of limiting factors can be studied by performing simple experiment repeated at different temperatures and carbon dioxide concentration. CO2 here, 2 I forgot. Okay, so this Blackman's law of limiting factor can be explained by simple experiment. What is that? See, in this light, that is only we will see. So photosynthesis varies with the light intensity, concentration of light. In that concentration, light intensity and light quality. Light intensity and quality. In these two factors, photosynthesis is dependent. And duration of light, concentration of light, and in that concentration, how much quality, and that quality of light, how much time we expose on the plants, depends upon that photosynthesis decides. So light intensity. There is no photosynthesis in the absence of light. Intensity means light concentration. There is no photosynthesis in the absence of light. If light is not available, photosynthesis does not exist. As the light intensity increases, the light concentration is increasing, photosynthesis increases proportionally until saturation point reaches. Until saturation point means what? Here, see, here, light intensity. In textbook, one graph given, see that initially atmosphere, it is one initially atmospheric carbon dioxide is at 0.04%, 15 degrees centigrade. So in this respiration takes place, sorry, photosynthesis takes place. Atmospheric carbon dioxide 0.04, 15 degrees centigrade. Temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. Photosynthesis takes place. Experiment A it is. Next, B experiment. Carbon dioxide content concentration is increased from 15 to 20. Then light also increases automatically. Then here also photosynthesis takes place. It is B, A, B, C. Here concentration, carbon dioxide concentration is 25 degrees centigrade. 25 degrees centigrade. No problem. In this C also photosynthesis takes place. Parallelly, carbon dioxide concentration is this much. Here light concentration is less. Comparatively, from here to here, light concentration, carbon dioxide concentration increased. From here to here, light concentration and carbon dioxide concentration increased. No problem. Photosynthesis increased. Rate of photosynthesis increased. Beyond these, if light is increased, photosynthesis does not take place. Optimal temperature only. Already we discussed on engine topic. At optimal temperatures only, enzymes are active. Beyond that temperature and pH, enzymes are inactive. Decline. The enzyme activity is decline. In the same way here also, up to maximum from 0.15 to 25 degrees centigrade temperatures and light. So photosynthesis takes place. Beyond that, here see, photosynthesis increases proportionally until a saturation point. Saturation point is 25 degrees. Beyond this saturation point, photosynthesis is decreased. This is what only in textbook given. See, so rate of photosynthesis and light intensity. Okay, so A to B photosynthesis is increased. Initially 0 to here textbook diagram. So here to here, starting to A, photosynthesis is increased. A to B, photosynthesis is increased. B to C, it is a saturation point. Saturation point. Beyond this, if light, temperature, carbon dioxide increase, no use. Saturation point is maximum. Okay. Beyond the saturation point, photosynthesis does not take place. Okay. That's all. Next, light quality. Quality light. So quality light is needed. That's why for any experiment, we have to keep outside 3 to 4 or 5 hours. So if the plant was outside about 3 to 5 hours, then only it will receive quality light. Depending on the wavelength of the light, a plant receives the rate of photosynthesis varies. Depends upon the wavelength of light. Some days, sunlight concentration quality is more, light quality is more. Some days light quality is dim. At that time, photosynthesis, rate of photosynthesis varies. When continuously 3 to 4 hours, light quality is good, at that time photosynthesis takes place. Otherwise, photosynthesis does not take place. As it clear from the action of action and absorption spectrum, photosynthesis is maximum in blue and red regions of visible light. Already I said that. Okay, red and blue regions of lights are more suitable for photosynthesis. In that regions, sufficient, not more, not less. Okay, so there is a linear relationship between incident light and carbon dioxide fixation rates. Okay, so linear relationship like this way. Sorry, linear relationship, straight line between incident light, sufficient light, and carbon dioxide fixation rates at low light intensities. Okay, so low light intensities between incident light and carbon dioxide fixation, the linear relationship, straight line, does not affect more, does not affect less. Linear relationship is maintained when sufficient light and carbon dioxide fixations are available. So lights. See, light saturation occurs 10% of the full sunlight. From the full sunlight, So 10% of light is enough. 10% sunlight only, saturation, light saturation occurs at 10% of the full light. From the full sunlight, 10% only sufficient for plants. Hence, except for plants in shade or dense, a limiting factor is factor in nature. See, hence, here see, hence, except for plants in shade or dense forest, light rarely a limiting factor. See, hence, except for plants, shade or dense, the plants which are growing in shade or dense plant forest areas, dense forest areas. So light is rarely a limiting factor in nature. Light is rarely a limiting factor. That means what? So the plants which are growing in shadow areas, for them light is not necessary. If 2-3% of light is provided on them, fallen on them, that is enough. Those are shady plants. These shady plants, if they expose more and more sunlight, they are died. Okay, that's so. Hence, except for plants in shade or in dense forests, light is rarely a limiting factor in nature. So, if increase in incident light beyond a light point, it causes breakdown of the chlorophyll, and decreases photosynthesis. Increase in incident. So beyond sufficient light, some light saturation is 10%. Beyond that 10%, if light is increased, then due to that light, it causes the breakdown of the chlorophyll and decreases rate of photosynthesis. Here, what finally I am saying, more sunlight